Okay, everybody, we are live, episode number 40 of Just a Guitar podcast. We have a very special guest today, somebody we've been trying to book for a couple months now, Vijay Hemenchal, aka the Jaguar, very accomplished grappler, mostly international, even local, hits up the locals, just to make an appearance. As always, we have before I go on, sorry, Adam Cousins could not join us. He is on a little vacation, I guess. So we love you, Adam, and we wish you were here. So without further ado, let me introduce our panel. We have Jordan Short.
Hello.
And of course we have Rami Sharani.
Yo. Also, I just want to quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Pohada Gear, and also VHTS. You can check out Pohada Gear at PORRADAGEAR.com. They're selling shirts. They have the BJJ Skull Guy, which is like a personal favorite of Adam's, even though he's not on there. We all like the shirt, but I feel like he loves it the most. It's worth mentioning. And also VHTS, you can check them out at veryhardtosubmit.com. They sell gis now. I believe what's the new one called? Is it the Galaxy?
This is Galaxy. No, it's the G chains. We should
really
know this.
That's right.
We should really know this.
That's true. Anyway, they have nice gis. Check them out. Very hard to submit. They have beanies, shorts, and spats.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, and also make sure to on either of those sites you can use the key code JTGT, all capital letters. You get I think 20% off.
Okay, no, that's great, and yeah, 20%. Thank you very much. So without further ado, we'd like to introduce Vijay Hemenchal. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen him. He's literally everywhere. Like whether it's, I believe, Euros or San Francisco Open or just anywhere, Atlanta, Florida, whatever. So yeah, Vijay, again, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming. First of all, I thought you guys had dressed the part at least. I mean, it's not Wolf Bernardo here working a 5-hour shift at the surf shop. Of course, it's you, brother. I thought you guys are yes. I've been everywhere from the pineapple to the Big Apple. I'm thrilled to be here, and it's an honor to talk to the 3 panelists that have actually won a match. Adam Cousins, we missed you, but come on, man, you gotta step up to me, guys. Especially after Ahmed's historic run at Worlds. I mean, we can talk about that later, but that was fabulous, man. And I'm a big fan of the show, and let's do this thing, man.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Yeah, no, about our attire, no, we never really dress up. We just wear T-shirts or whatever. But anyway, next time.
It's hard. You're used to a lot of your guests, broadcasting from their mom's basement, bare and bones their kitchen table. It's a different guest. So for a lot of you viewers out there, I'm not wearing a suit because I'm in court like a lot of you. I actually have a job. I'm actually at my office. Goldenberg Financial Chartered Accountants. We're an accounting firm. We handle small business all over Brampton. And I just want to plug my sponsor because that's my main sponsor, which would be myself. I'm very fortunate to be able to have a good job and be able to fly out everywhere. I mean, August, I'm going to Las Vegas. I'm going to Boston, Atlanta, Dallas. I mean, I love it, and I'm just glad I'm able to do it. I'm very thankful.
That's amazing, Vijay. So can you tell us, okay, you know what? Well, why did you even get into jiu-jitsu? Can you take us back? For those who don't know, Vijay was a indie wrestler, correct?
Yeah, so just long story short, I know if I went over my accomplishments, it would take 3 hours. But just long story short, I went to Michigan Tech University on a football scholarship back in '94. So I was able to go to university for free, become a CA for free, basically. So I got off to a real good start in life. So I finished my university, started working, and I was passionate about pro wrestling. So I actually met Edge at a gym in Brampton, and he told me how he got into wrestling. So I did wrestling
pro
wrestling for 5 years. Yeah, the Edge. That was his character name. And, I started wrestling. I got into that for 5 years. Very difficult business to make, entertainment, of course, but finished that up. And actually, the best thing about wrestling is I met my wife, who's given me 3 fabulous children. So for that, I'm always thankful. So that took me to about 30. Then, had a kid, started focus on my career. It was 2008. I said, I want to get into something competitive. So I started judo for a while. So 2008, I did judo for about a year. And then judo takes a break in the summer, which is really weird. So my brother was training at Combat Arts under Novo Unao, Scott Lewis. So I just started training there and fell more in love with jiu-jitsu. I love judo too, but I'm sure as you guys know, used to train at Sissy. The judo tournaments are very disorganized. They're not pre-registered. A lot of times you show up and weigh at 10 in the morning, and then don't have anyone to fight. So I just did not like the way judo was run. I mean, to compare it to jiu-jitsu, Judo Ontario is so disorganized, they make the OGA look well organized. Like they're that badly run.
Well,
right?
That's bad, yeah.
That is bad. So anyways, I got into jiu-jitsu, and I've always just had a competition bug. It was the main reason I got into it, and just fell in love with it and just been competing as much as I can when I'm healthy, when I'm able to do it. And like I said, I just turned 40, so I mean, I'm going to do it as long as I can, and it's an honor to compete. And I feel whenever I compete, that means I'm healthy and just fortunate.
So is that why you compete as much as you do? I mean, like, let's be honest, you compete literally at everything, like everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, so I'm self-employed, and I run a business with my partner, and the hours are crazy. I mean, I'm working like 17-hour days in March and April. I mean, it's tough, right? So if I didn't have an outlet, I think I would just go mental. I would go crazy, right? So, and I just love competing, and to be honest with you, like jiu-jitsu, I just love the people I'm meeting. I've been to Boston, been everywhere, and you meet so many great people and so many good friends, and we're friends, yet we're rivals. I mean, it's a beautiful sport, for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, so just we're talking about competition, and guys, I'm going to open it up to everyone here. Vijay, what are your thoughts on people who maybe don't compete?
I don't know. Like, to me, if I did not compete, I wouldn't do jiu-jitsu. I mean, I would just work out. I mean, and my jiu-jitsu game is very simple. There's a song by Big Pun called "I'm Not a Player, I Just Crush a Lot." Like, that's just my game, right? I don't play a Rami or Jordan Cali game. I'm just in it because, I'm heavier, so I have a certain game. I mean, I don't know, it's teach his own, but, I mean, to not compete is just not testing yourself. I mean, how do you know your jiu-jitsu is any good? How do you know your technique's good? I mean, I think everyone should compete. Now, obviously, not compete. Like, I did 25 tournaments last year. That's extreme. But you should compete a couple times a year. Test yourself, and how do you know you're any good, right? And it's the best learning tool. I mean, you lose. Not that I ever lose much, but from what I hear when you lose, no, I'm just kidding. I lose quite a bit. But, when you lose, that's how you learn. That's where you learn the holes of your game, and you can go back to the lab, and, it's a great learning tool.
Oh, sorry, Ron, where were you going?
So how important do you think it is for an instructor of an academy to actually be going to tournaments and competing?
Depending on the age and the injuries, but if you're a young guy, like in your, 20s or 30s, there's no excuse you shouldn't compete. And one thing I will say, like I've done Miami Open, I do Las Vegas Open, and I notice a lot of the older black belts, they compete, whether it's Masters 3, 8, 9, 12, whatever. They're competing, and I mean, just to call like a Gringo, for example. I mean, he's what, early 50s? No, I'm just kidding.
I think he's 42.
Gringo's like 40s, but I mean, he competes all the time. I mean, he's probably the second most active black belt competitor, I would say, besides our instructor, Amir Yafawi. But I mean, it's just, the fact that he competes at his age as much as he does, it's inspirational, And I believe you have a teammate that's 59 that competes quite a bit.
Yeah, no, we do.
Famous Jim Stevenson.
Yeah, I mean, he competes. He's out there just as much as anybody else, but he's, he's an inspiration. Like I'm not even like I'm not being sarcastic here. Like, it really is. Like at 59, man, I don't even know. And he does adult divisions too.
Which is crazy because people who are like young and like people who do really well in the academies, they don't even go out to compete. He's like 59.
Yeah. And like Ahmed, man, to shout you out, I know you were injured. You pulled out a world. You re-registered. I mean, you could have easily pulled a Greg King or a Josh Rapport and show up and be a fanboy, but you competed, man. And you pulled off a star comeback. You went 1-1, and you're well into your 30s, man. You have kids. I mean, it's inspirational.
No, thank you very much.
You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to, since we're on the topic of worlds, like I will bring it up, but that's fine. So yeah, for those who don't know, I suffered like a pretty bad, not bad, I don't know, it was just a really painful injury in the beginning of the year. It took me out for the first 2 months. I tried to train, I got re-injured, re-injured. Anyway, I was supposed to do San Francisco Open, I pulled out because I couldn't, and then I registered for Worlds, and then I really hurt myself again, I pulled out, and then I was flying there anyway, and then Rami convinced me, he's like, you know what, just register, if you feel good, bring your gi, if you feel good, compete, if you don't, just leave. So, I did just that, and I'm glad I did. It felt really good, and then I saw.
It was probably one of the most. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I saw a lot of other people there who were just spectating, and I know they train, and like Vijay named some names, I guess, but like I saw some. I'm like, man, like you could do this right now. Like you can get blitzed in 30 seconds, but you flew here anyway. Like just come out and give it a shot. And I was like, probably.
How big are some of those divisions?
Like mine was 89 or 90. I know lightweight, and that's middleweight. Lightweight was about 109. it's huge. Like it was huge. Yeah, it was amazing. Life changing for jiu-jitsu anyway. Don't get me wrong, but like that was probably one of the best jiu-jitsu experiences I've ever had in my life. And never mind the winning.
Can we please go over the winning though? Because that was maybe the best come from behind underdog win ever.
So as Vijay said on social media, I spotted him 8 points or something like that, right? Or whatever. Yeah, it was a good tactic, lull him into a false sense of security. No, but honestly, all I did is I tried to grab his wrist and sit down guard. That's all I did, the pull guard. As I did that, he did a flying triangle. So he jumped over my knees because I didn't put a foot on the hip. Lesson learned. So he jumped over my legs, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm gonna get flying triangle. Like I was like, I can't believe it. I'm gonna be a highlight reel. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I really thought that. And I fought out of the triangle, so now I'm mounted, and I look at the clock, and it's like 6 minutes and 40 seconds left or some shit like that. Like I was like, fuck, man, like this has just started, and I'm down. And anyway, so I turn to my belly, and he goes for a body lock, and I think he might have gotten the 4 for the back mount, without the hooks, but you know what I mean, like the mount. So. Yeah. Did that, and I didn't even know about that anyway. But he went for a body lock, and I just took his foot into the middle of my legs, and essentially heel hooked him with my legs. And he screamed really loud, and I don't think he tapped. He just screamed loud, and the ref stopped it, and then he started to cry, and you know what? It was all good. Like he cried because he was emotional. He was a Brazilian guy or something, and he probably flew down or whatever, and so I felt bad. Like I wasn't even really that happy. I was like. Oh, I'm sorry. I looked at the ref. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt him. And but yeah, that was my experience. And then I lost my second match to a fan. Actually, he's a fan. He after he beat me, he's like, hey, you're from the podcast. And it was pretty awesome. Like he kicked my ass, and then he recognized me. So yeah, that was on points. I lost some points, but yeah, Vijay, like you said, anybody can do it. If you're not competing, man, you're a mark. I mean, you know what I mean? There's just a mark. Like. What's the point? Well, like Vijay said, like it's like boxing. We used to have guys like that in boxing who just like come in and like spar a lot and never fight. It made no sense.
Yeah. You know what? That was a fabulous day. Like I watched the whole feed. I mean, they had yourself fighting, Eric Fan. I got to see Ramy. I mean, just the whole day was just fighters that like long local fighters went, like Nathan, Pema. It was a really great day of jiu-jitsu, and I really enjoyed it. The thing about Worlds, you were saying, Casey Hellenberg, who trains at Atos, and I faced him in the San Fran Open. He ended up coming third in his weight, ultra heavy purple, third in absolute, and Pema, who's a great local competitor here, has pretty much been on a tear. He went one and done. Now they faced at the Montreal Trials, and Pema beat him pretty handily in the semis to get third, I think. So it just goes to show you, like, I mean, Pema goes 0-1 at Worlds, and this guy comes third in both, and Pema handles him. So it's just a lot of it's bracketing, a lot of it's who you face. I mean, some guy with the bracket.
A lot of it is definitely luck, because you could just end up with a bunch of jabrones who, like one person after the other who just isn't that good. You beat them all, you get to the end, you medal or something, and then you could also just get the ringer like that Nicholas Murageli guy.
Yeah. That was a great match.
Sometimes it's just styles and stuff too. Like some guys that play a different type of game and you just match up well with you. You're like, the thing that they're not good at is the thing that you're really good at. And sometimes it just works out that way too.
Yeah, man, and like I said, I saw it a lot. Like you get to know in jiu-jitsu, you know who are the big names, right? Like so you got like in the big names in the light feather division or whatever, and you see like there's a no-namer facing him in the first round, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. Just bad luck. And sure enough, he gets run through. You know what I mean? But like you guys said,
usually that guy doesn't even know who they're facing.
Yeah, they don't.
They just like caught completely by surprise.
Yeah, and he probably left Worlds going, what the fuck was that? Like, you know what I mean? And it's luck, man. It is. Like, you can go one and done, and then, or you can win 5 in a row and medal at least or whatever. So, I don't know. Anyway, it was an awesome experience. Like I said, Vijay, how come we didn't see you there?
You know what? Bit banged up. I've had a bad year for the Jaguar for sure. Caught pneumonia right around the Montreal Trials. Been out 6 weeks, and like a mark, I came back for Grappling Industries without any like prep work. Just to kind of get some work in, and I got commorted by a limb martial art guy of all things. I mean, of course. So, yeah, so it's been banged up. Plus, I got a big August lined up. Taking the kids to Orlando, because usually when I go to California, I have to take the kids to do the Disney thing. But we'll be doing that in Orlando in September. So a ton of tournaments in August. Playing Dallas as well. I think we've got the trials coming up in October. So should be a lot of tournaments coming up, health willing, of course. But yeah, again, just nothing to with the whole competing thing. I know a lot of masters are out there. And I don't know what your mentality is, but I think I put masters in two categories. You either have kids or you don't have kids. So when you have kids, you got to pass, because obviously, you have kids. It's a game changer when you have kids. It's hard to train when you have kids, right? But when you're a master and you have kids and you're 31, Jason Palmer, compete adult, man. Don't duck and hide masters. That's just all I'm saying. If you're 32 in your prime, fight adult. Don't be hiding masters, beating up on the No Country for Old Men like that tournament last week. Fight adult, man. Challenge yourself. What it's all about, man. Like I said, I'm 40. I can be fighting Masters 3, but I want to fight Nathan. I want to fight Pem. I want to fight all the top purple belts to see where I'm at. Make them sweat a little bit at this stage of the game. But that's what it's all about, man. Losing to the best. Like I said, I've been fortunate. I've done a lot of tournaments. I fought Joe Formica, Devin DeBrugel. So I've fought some of the best guys in the world. Obviously not winning, of course, but it just lets you know where you are compared to the top as Ahmed said, some of the big guys. And to me, that's a thrill. And as silly as it sounds, I actually want to fight Bachecha if I get my black belt when I'm 45. I would do it. Like I said, we mentioned that Josh was there, and I know he may have some different circumstances, but if I'm there and I'm a black belt, I'll fight. I'll fight the Open and fight Ultra. You get two good fights, you lose, but hey, man, you're fighting the best.
It's okay. Is that an official call-out with Bachecha there?
Yeah. Well, if he's still doing jiu-jitsu, I'm in this for long haul. I don't know about some of these guys in for 1 or 2 years. No, I'm sure. But I'll fight whoever when I'm 45. If I ever get to black belt, I'll fight whoever, anyone in the world. I don't care.
We have some podcast connections, so we could probably make this happen. Let's get this super fight. We'll do it right now.
I don't know, man. These super fights, it seems to be 145 pounds and under. I guess people like seeing teenage pillow fights, I guess. I don't know. Book a super fight for someone over 200 pounds. It'd be a first, I think, around here. But whatever. I guess it's a new thing. They like tickle fights, I guess.
No, you are right. Super fights have been a lot of the lighter guys, but some might argue that they're the most exciting.
I love seeing a man tug on gi pants and seeing the ass crack of another man, but that's, I guess, a different jiu-jitsu than what I like doing. But whatever, to each his own.
I was gonna ask something else. Oh yeah, sorry. You touched on masters, and that's great. We've touched on that a lot, and well, we have our resident panelist Jordan, who is a masters king. Actually, he's a masters ringer. Jordan, Jordan, can you do you want to retort to that? Because he said, and I quote, there's two types of people in masters. You have ones that have kids and one that don't. And you're a young guy. You're 31 or 2 or something, right?
32,
so
yeah.
You're in your physical prime, actually, they say.
Oh,
32.
Big specimen, man.
I'll be in my physical prime when I'm 47, I think.
So
I'm working up towards it. I was a late bloomer, so I'm still getting there. I'm not there yet.
But what are your thoughts on that? Why not do the adult? I remember, man.
I do compete at adult sometimes. It really depends, though, man. It depends on how many people are in the division, things like that. It's not that important to me, really. I go out and I compete because it's fun. I'm not chasing titles or anything like that. I just do it for fun, man.
Okay. All right. There was an article out today. I don't know if you guys saw it. I just read it. Some posted it. It's about Ananda?
Yes.
Yeah, Ramananda.
Yeah. Shit, I didn't know he was 36 years old. So he won Worlds at 36 years old. Purple belt. Sorry. Brown belt.
And that's not the first time he's won Worlds. He's won it, or no, I don't think he won Worlds purple belt. But Wolf won that year.
Yeah. So no, he won Worlds, and then he at brown belt light feather, which is amazing. He does train full time, but he is 36 years old. That's still pretty damn impressive. So anyway. Story is that masters, man, you can do some good things, man. So I'm definitely doing it next year. I'm doing a Worlds next year for sure. This time, hopefully, I'm healthy. I will, I'll definitely put some more focus and hard work into trying to do that. But yeah. So anyway, that was.
I might start a make champ or something. I'm thinking maybe I'll start a make a champ and then I'll make it out to World Masters next year too.
Well,
that's actually a very good point. I'm actually curious, Vijay. What are your thoughts on this whole makeachamp.com thing?
Coming from a guy who pays his way and travels all over the world to
sponsor yourself.
Basically, well, it's a bit of an insult to be honest with you. I think there's nothing you're just asking people to help fund your hobby. It means more if you do it yourself, right? Like I'm fortunate I can pay for my own way. When I went to Vegas last year, it meant more because like it was on my own dime. You know, it just I don't know. It's just bad habits, right? I mean, I've been in a situation where I've been able to help out some athletes. I don't want to mention their names with some sponsorships, but I mean, as a business owner, like, what would I get out of a sponsorship? Like, I sponsor a soccer team, I get a plaque with everyone wearing my jersey. But what do I get in jiu-jitsu, right? That's the inherent problem I think a lot of these people will have. Like, what do I get, right? And this Make a Champ thing, I don't think you even get a charitable donation receipt, right? So I mean, if I didn't even get a receipt, I'm just handing you my money, right? For what? But I don't know. I think we're in the golden age of fundraising. I mean, blue belts are holding seminars now. I think white belts are just running schools. I mean, I think it's just the golden age now, man. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry purple belt runs a school these days. So I don't know. I'm just a bit old school. I think only brown and black should be telling me anything about jiu-jitsu, but that's just, I'm a bit old school. But I guess every purple belt now that wins 2 matches can open a school. So I don't know.
So that's how you feel. So you're against it then?
Against purple and blue belts running a school, I think it was a stretch.
Well,
I think white belts asking for funding is a bit of a stretch. Like, I mean, you've been doing the sport for less than a year. Why don't you like have some longevity? Pay some dues, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That reminds me. Have you guys seen that one video on YouTube of the 2 white belts and one of the guys triangles, like, I guess his girlfriend, and then somebody while he's holding the girl in a triangle, he asks somebody to get him like a ring, and he proposes to her while she's in his triangle, and they're both just white belts. It was the weirdest video I've ever seen.
Where did you see this?
It was on Reddit, BJJ.
I don't know. It's like people who get married in their gis and stuff like that.
And their white belts.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, it's like they're always like a blue belt or a white belt or something like that.
Yeah, purple and brown belt knows better, you know. Not knocking blue belts, so you guys are awesome.
Not that it would be okay either way, but like at least have a blue belt.
Yeah, seriously. Going back to Worlds really quick, and sorry, not really quick, but check this out, right? So one thing I noticed there is I've seen some people that I know who are local to us and maybe even abroad that I know of through because I just know their career. You know, sorry, I didn't mean to put it in quotes, but you know what I mean, like their ambitions. One thing I noticed is that, and you guys tell me if you disagree or not, and run me if I've talked this before. If you are doing Worlds for fun and having a good time, it's awesome. But there's some people who will do like you said, these Make a Champs. Perhaps they will go away on these, excursions or whatever. Just really make it their job, all right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying if you go away and train that's bad. I'm saying if it's your career. And then when you get to the big show, man, and you just get outworked, I truly believe jiu-jitsu is a sport no different from any other sport where you're either a natural at it or you're not. Or you're just some Joe Blow who trains hard, who can beat the average Joe guy, but you'll never beat those guys who are they just got it. You know what I mean? And I really want to put that out there. I saw it. Am I an expert? No. But I saw what I saw. I saw really good guys not doing well. I saw guys like me who actually pulled out a win. And that should not happen. That got, lucky, whatever. I don't care. It is what it is. But all I'm saying is that you're either really born with it and good at it, or you're not. So I just wish people would, just get that through their heads that you're not going to be a champion. I know I sound bad saying that, and some people have said I'm a hater for full-time people, but really, it doesn't matter. I could go full-time right now. I will not win a world champion.
Sometimes it is.
I don't have it.
It depends on who it is. Because sometimes you see people who are training full-time, and you're just like, this is just a sad case where you should not be training full-time. And then some people are smart enough to pull out of that.
Yeah, but when do you call it quits? When do you go, oh shit, you know what? Maybe this isn't good for me.
I think for some people,
Maybe
I think for some people, yeah. Well, I think for some people, they just want to live that jiu-jitsu lifestyle. Like how Drysdale said on that one on our podcast. He's like, he kind of accepted he was just going to be poor, and that's just how he wanted to live. He likes the lifestyle. But I feel like that's not what it is for a lot of people. A lot of people just want to be a world champion. And then, so they do the whole full-time thing, and it just doesn't work out for them. And now then they just keep doing it.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
You know what's sad though? Like, when I was in the wrestling business, you would see the same thing, right? Indie wrestlers thinking they can do it full-time, horrible shape, no look, they look horrible, right? But in indie wrestling, the carrot is the WWF is going to sign you, and you have a chance of making money. Like, that's the carrot, right? Unrealistic or not. Jiu-jitsu is not even a carrot. Like, what are you going to do, run a school? Like, there's just no proper end game. Like, it just baffles me when I mean, you know, when you're young and you want to train full-time, that's fine. But when people are, like, downgrading their degrees, putting off school, it's like, what is wrong with you? You got to think,
downgrading degrees?
yeah, when you're 30 and 40, that's what, you know, you got to think ahead. Like, what are you going to do, man?
The point being is that, Vijay, you're right. Everyone's got this goal where they're like, yeah, I'm just going to open up a school when I'm done. Well, shit, man, there's going to be, like, a school every 3 houses down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know, man. Like, I'm doing this. I'm sorry?
There'll be a 1-to-1 student ratio soon. You'll get that over-the-shoulder training because there'll be a school in every block. It's ridiculous.
No, and it's true. And that's the thing is, like, I had a really good conversation with Sam Zagula just for a couple minutes. And he made a really good point. He's like, you got these guys who are like the king of the neighborhood, you know what I mean, ruling everything here and whatever, and then they go over to the Worlds, for example, and they just get smashed. You know what I mean? By some no-name Brazilian you may have never heard of, but he's just this phenom, you know, overseas. It's just like, you're right, there is no carrot. There is no point. You won Worlds, but so what?
Well, sorry. Well, last thing on fundraising. Like, if you're going to fundraise, I get it, but don't fundraise, post pictures of the posh condo you're staying at in San Diego or training at Atos full time, and then come back 3 weeks later and ask for us for more funding. Like, dude, you just stayed in the condo for a week. You got to train at Atos for 2 weeks, and you want more money? Like, I don't know, man. Some people have no shame. Like, fundraising, you legitimately don't have money. We don't fundraise to, like, stay in a posh condo is all I'm saying. You know, like, I want a third BMW, but, you know, I'll go on buy it, unless someone wants to fund my third BMW. Or enhance my Disney Vacation Club membership. I mean, I'm always flexible for that.
We're talking about, like, people opening clubs. Like, that's, like, their goal. They want to, eventually, they want to open their own club. And, you know, I think the problem with that is that you get people who aren't that good who, you know, eventually they get to the point they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. Then you have this, like, whole situation that they have with karate. Like, there's all these clubs all around, all these dojos, and most of them are terrible McDojos. People who are in it purely for the business, and I think it really waters down the product too.
Yeah, but you know what the difference is? I'm going to defend these guys just once, so forgive me, guys. But I think if you do win a world championship, even if it's at a blue belt or whatever, or even if it's Masters 6, it doesn't matter, because you can say, quote-unquote, world champion, right? You can say that. And the general guy is not going to know that it's Masters or not. Anyway, I think what will happen is that if you get people who are winning titles and they open schools, they might run out the other schools that exist today of the black belts who aren't world champions.
But that's what I mean. Like, not everybody's going to win a world championship. There's tons of people out there who that's their goal, and they're never going to achieve it. They're still going to open schools. They might go and get, like, worked every single tournament, but they're, like, in their mind, they're like, you know what? If I just train harder, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Yep, I'll get there. Like, buddy, you're not gonna get there.
I feel bad because we're crushing dreams. So, you know what? We've had some really good people on who have done that, and they're the exception. So for those who are listening, yeah, you guys are amazing, but you're really kind of 1 in a million. So that's why you're on the podcast.
You know? You're 1 in a million, and that's why you're on the podcast.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, you know what? Let's switch gears a bit. We've been talking about Worlds, so that was fun. Like I said, everybody knows. I don't want to reiterate what everybody saw. All the black belts and the worm guard. You know, the debut of the worm guard and all that kind of stuff. Or was that a pants?
This is an awesome guard, by the way.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really fun to do. So I've been enjoying that. So for some people, but anyway, Vijay, local. Well, so what's your gimmick with local? Because okay, international, we get it. You go, you meet some new people, you travel, you bring your family sometimes. Disney World, great, that's awesome. But what about local? Like, well, what's that do for you? Because it's just that. It's just local. It's small potatoes.
Oh, come on, man. Lots of great tournaments around. I'm a big grappling industries fan. I think their concept is fabulous. I mean, any white belt that doesn't do grappling industries, they're really missing out because you can get up to 10 matches in a day, right? I mean, great repetition. And also the Super Absolute, and I know you're probably not a fan of it, but Super Absolute's a game changer. I mean, for those that don't know, it's like all weights, all belts. I think there was a gender where they had females in, but they've kind of changed it. But like I said, I would love for it to be all gender, all belts. And just everyone's fighting each other, just jiu-jitsu. And actually, to go back to your episode, I think that tribute to the View that you guys had, I don't know what episode that was. The one where you had Barbara Walters. You know what I'm talking about? The Mary Tyler Moore one with Tiffany.
Oh,
I mean,
right. I was like, what are you talking about?
yeah, Mary Tyler Moore, BJJ, but
Women of Ontario, Jiu-Jitsu.
yeah, the view, that one, right?
That was an awesome episode.
I'm all for it, man. If any female wants to sign up, I for sure will take them on. Grappling industry is absolute, would be ideal. I just depends on the bracketing, but even the IBJJF Toronto, if any of them want to sign up for Purple Ultra and try Space Mountain on for size, I'm all for it. I mean, I would love to fight Tiffany. She's probably a bit too small for me, but some of the bigger girls like Chelsea or Patricia, I would love to have a great match with them. I think it'd be entertaining. And the main reason I'm doing it, actually, because there's no Purple Ultras left. I mean, I don't know where these guys have gone, like your Tim Doones of the world, Brian Austins. I mean, these guys are on a milk carton. I mean, if there's any Purple Ultras or even super heavy, like Carl Fagnan, eat a sandwich, man. I mean, get up to Ultra. No, I just want to fight Purple Ultras. I'm tired of not having any guys to fight in my weight class. So, I mean, any females, anyone, I mean, please, by all means, Purple Ultra.
Okay. So you will face females.
I will have no qualms facing anyone, females in particular.
He's the Andy Kaufman of BJJ.
Hey. It's equal. It's a time, man. It's equal rights for everyone. If they feel they can compete with us, I mean, who am I to deny them?
You know what? You're a very progressive man, and I appreciate that.
I have no problem knee on breastbone, knee on spleen. I mean, I don't care who it is. I don't know if my own kids when I grapple. I don't care, right? But if they want to fight, I mean, I think they should have that opportunity, and I think it's great actually that I think Patricia's actually she's beaten a person. I think Tiffany won a Zombie House tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So they've done well. And I think it's a great opportunity. I think they should have that opportunity.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, I'm not abreast on this, but is this super absolute? Is it like with women as well?
I think the first one in Montreal was. I think the last one, Aguzi changed it. But I mean, I'm sure if they were to sign up, I mean, he would let them. So I mean, by all means, right, I think it'd be great TV.
Ahmed, was that pun intended?
Abreast?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. But now that I said it, yeah, no, I did not mean that as a disrespectful way. I'm sorry. So, but yeah, so you guys heard of you? Oh, sorry, Vijay, I don't want to cut your.
It's not a podcast unless we can make Ahmed apologize or something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Vijay, go ahead.
I've always promised myself, like I know a lot of purple belts, they get their purple belt and now they big time the local scene. I'm too good to fight here, but I will fight till I'm brown belt. If I'm brown belt, I'll fight. A black belt, I'll fight. I mean, I enjoy doing it. I'll fight anywhere. Like I said, I enjoy the grappling industries format. I enjoy OJA, IBJJF, obviously I love. And again, I just feel very fortunate that I don't have to do any OGA tournaments. So for that, I'm thankful. But there's just so many tournaments now that I feel like, I don't know if it's oversaturated, but you could literally fight 30 tournaments a year, if you pretty much did everything in your area and traveled a bit. So, for me, it's fabulous. Like I said, I have a big August planned, and I'll keep doing it till I can. I'm thankful to do it.
It's amazing, man. This guy, it's seriously, it's one of the reasons we got you on, because we really think it's inspirational how you compete as much as you do. I mean, I don't want to compete that much, but I know that if seriously, I would break down. There's no way I could do it. But let's talk about nerves, Vijay. Like, as somebody who competes like 25 times in a year must have seriously, you must just stroll on the mats like it's just nothing.
Oh. No, man. Nervous is not being able to, afford a rental property. Nervous is not being able to buy a third BMW. That's nervous. I mean, when you're competing, man, it's fun. It's what you love to do. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to be nervous about, man. I mean, what's the worst that happen? You're gonna lose. I still have my 3 kids. I still have my bank account. I mean, it's all good, man. I just want to. My goal is just to make people like Nathan, Pema, and anyone local, like some of the best guys in the world, Devin DeBrugel. I just want to make people sweat. That's all it is, man. If I can eco win out, it'd be a mirror. It'd be grateful. Like, for example, I did the San Fran Open. I came second. I beat a full timer from Birmingham, Anandeep Singh, who he competes everywhere. I lost to Casey. I got to do the absolutes with Rami Tirani. To be on the same mats with him, to see him operate in San Fran, it was like seeing that's much like Frank Sinatra was like in San Fran. And he spent 45 glorious seconds with me, talking to me, and the small glimpse of time he gave me into his life. I think we both got stretched by the same guy, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. Because actually, had Rami won, I would have had to face Rami, which would have been ugly. But he lost to the gentleman, and I got choked with a pearl necklace, I believe he called it. It was kind of ugly, but again, just to fight some of the best guys in the world is always a thrill, and like I said, I'm just happy to do it.
Rami, were you in the absolute that in San Francisco? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. So, if you and Vijay went down, how would it have gone down?
I would give it to my what is it, Meest? I don't even know how to say it. Meestre?
Mastre?
Mastre, yeah. I just have to go to my Mastre.
Okay. No, so that's the local scene, Vijay. Like, is there anybody out there that you I mean, you mentioned a couple names already, but is there anybody out there, international or local, that you just really want to smash because like they've wronged you?
They're wrong. No, but anyone that's ranked ahead of me on the IBJJF rankings, like your Alfonso Washingtons or Casey Hellenbergs. Unfortunately, I was really looking forward to fighting Jared Dopp and James Friedrich, but they ducked me by being super heavy. But anyone on the top ultra heavy list. I mean, locally, Grappling Industries does have a purple and brown combined division, so I would love to fight Pasquale, Tom McMahon. But I don't know, it just seems like a lot of them don't do the Grappling Industries, which is too bad. Jeff Muir is another one I would like to fight in the gi. I fought him a couple of times in no gi. And to be honest with you, there's not a nicer guy on the local scene that I've ever met than Jeff Muir. Just a really, really great guy, and I would love to fight him in gi. I just would like to see that just more, even brown and purples just compete more. But I think actually there's quite a few purples coming up. I know there's been a lot of new promotions. A lot of the schools, except for Gringos, it seems, promote a lot of their blue belts, but I don't know if you want to discuss a sandbagger segment, but I think I told you
we are getting there. We are going to get there.
I mean, you know, a lot of sandbaggers over there. But if those guys ever get the purple belt, I think we'll have a lot of guys at purple belt, which will make things a lot more interesting locally, right? I think for sure.
You know what? Just Vijay, just as we're going on here, like I get a ticker of a bunch of comments and stuff, so I'm getting a lot. But one question. What's that?
Holy smokes!
No, just very quick. Somebody who trains somebody who competes as much as you, what is your training schedule? Because like last year, for example, 25 tournaments a year. I mean, there's 52 weeks in a year. Like, you're talking like every week. Geez, every second weekend you're almost competing, right? So, what's your training like? How often do you train?
Is that a rib? Okay,
no,
my training.
It's a real question.
My training is I show up halfway through the class, I get the rolls in, I maybe do prowler, and I go home. I don't drill. If I'm lucky, 3 times a week would be a super week for me. So a lot of you are probably asking, like, I got 3 kids, I have a wife, like, how does this all work, right? So my wife is very flexible. She'll allow me to fly places on weekends to compete, but I have to be home for the kids weeknights. So I can only train 2 lunches a week. So oftentimes Tuesday, Thursday, but then I'll have a client call. I want to come in Tuesday at 12. Well, I can't put them off, so I miss that day training. So my training is actually very limited. I mean, not to say I compete more than I train, but it's very close. Like, I can't imagine anyone training less and competing as much. It's just the nature of the beast, because, you know, you can't be everywhere. I mean, I can't be drilling all the latest worm, this and that, or whatever you guys are doing. I mean, my game's my game. I just try to come in and get a sweat. Like I said, I don't drill. You know, I just like rolling. Like,
I like that you just try to go to get a sweat. That's respectable, I think.
I'm not gonna lie. I duck a lot of people rolling. I mean, Ahmed, I try not to roll with Ahmed now.
I've never rolled with him ever.
we had the one roll where you stretched me out, but I mean, I roll mostly with white belts, preferably out of shape. I work my game, but I'm not here to like roll with purple belts during class and get stretched. I'm here to just kind of get a sweat and kind of get the limbs roll. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, you won't see me doing anything for sure.
And I've seen it happen, because I'm like, hey, Vijay, you want to roll? And he's like, oh, no, I got this guy. And the guy looks at him and is like, what? Like, and he's like a new guy. It's like his first day in or something. It's awesome. Or like yesterday, we went, I was doing a little bit of drilling, and Vijay popped in, and he ate his lunch, made fun of us, and left. It was yeah, that's amazing. I think that's amazing. And the fact that you do as well as you do, with the limited training, I think that's admirable, man. Seriously, I'm not even trolling.
No, like I said, I mean, you know, like I said, I was an athlete in my day. I mean, I'm 40 now. I worked out like 10 years ago hard, so I'm just feeding off the remnants of that.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. You know, what's his name? Some guy who won the white belt.
Oh, Eric Chibaluzzo.
Yeah, what's his gimmick? Like, so just so people know why I'm bringing this up, because Vijay said he used to train a lot. He was an athlete years ago, and now he's riding off of that. Well, you have a white belt who's stretching everybody, and he's beating brown belts and purple belts, and so yeah. What's the story there?
Well, you know, he's in his 20s still. 280. I think he won white belt worlds, and I saw it was quite an impressive display. But you know, he's a big guy, and as far as I'm concerned, he's probably very close to being CFL level athlete. I mean, you know, he's bigger, stronger than most of the people he's fighting, and his game is very good. He's got good stand up, and you know, 280 is still 280, and when you're athletic 280, it's going to be hard to deal with no matter who you are, right?
Yeah, this is a good point. You mentioned something along the lines of a lot of these people, and I'm paraphrasing, okay? A lot of these people in jiu-jitsu today wouldn't have made it as the water boy from my football team in high school. Explain.
Correct. No athletic base, man. I mean, here's the thing: if you're a young college athlete or college age athlete, and you're not playing college sports, how good an athlete are you, right? I mean, I know some of the guys are smaller, but if you're a relatively athletic big guy, you're going to be playing college football, you're going to be playing college basketball, right? Yeah, athletic base. So I feel a lot of guys in jiu-jitsu now, they're maybe just getting into it, and they just don't have that base. And it counts. It matters, right? I mean, you have to be an athlete, no matter what sport it is, to have that base, right?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, if you're just like, I mean, okay, look, you have some people who do jiu-jitsu who are like just like all in it for the technique and the lifestyle and just chilling and kind of it's like groovy. You know what I mean? Like, you know that mentality, guys? Am I?
I mean, some of they look like they gave blood and they just forgot to say when. They look so emaciated. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's horrible, man.
And that's cool. Like I said, look, if you do that for jiu-jitsu, that's awesome, man. If you just want to chill and flow and like after you get tapped, you're like, yeah, that was awesome. Like, yeah, because you get people like that. That's right. Cool, but like you're right. The competitors, I'm talking more to competitors. Their athleticism counts.
Oh, it does.
You know what I mean? It really does. And I mean, a lot of people are like telling me how lifting is a waste of time. And I mean, I'm calling bullshit. Lifting is not a waste of time. I want to be stronger than you. Serious.
Yeah, bigger, faster, stronger. You can never go wrong, for sure.
But see, some people argue that. I'm sorry, I'm going on my rant, but but people argue. They're like, oh, you won't be able to do that when you're older. Fucking, what are you talking about? I'll be lifting when I'm older too. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. We've been lulled into this thing, and we're tricked into thinking that jiu-jitsu is all about about technique. And you can be this frail old person and you can choke people. I don't think so.
And you may, well, the thing is, like, I think maybe at one point you'll get old or whatever, and you won't be able to do much. You'll probably be able to kick somebody's ass. But that doesn't take into account that right now it's like you're in your physical prime. Why not take advantage of that with speed and strength and technique? I don't get when people say to not use all of them.
It's frowned upon. You're right. It's frowned upon now. It's like, dude, I can still do this. Let me do it. Shut up. When I'm old, I'll stop doing that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. And some people are like, oh, my technique can beat your technique. But it's like, if we have equal technique, but you're like stronger and faster, how do you make up the difference? You don't. You get beat. You get tapped.
Exactly. And that's coming from Jordan. Jordan doesn't even lift.
I don't even lift. I don't even know what lifting is. They talk about this lifting stuff. I don't even know what it is.
But Jordan's got good cardio, so he takes advantage of that. But anyway.
Well, like I said, man, so like I said, I've been around, met a lot of people, and the people that I respect, someone like a Kim Sturvian, for example, he's currently the #1 purple ultra masters guy, and the guy has like 5 kids. He's a professor, I believe, of some sort. I mean, people that can like juggle jiu-jitsu, I think that should be a good blog, actually. But some guys that can juggle jiu-jitsu, right? I mean, kids, a job. I mean, a lot of these guys, when they think BJJ is a mutually exclusive event and I can't do this and I have to focus, like, you can do a lot of different things, man. You know, you can have a job, you can have a family, you can fit jiu-jitsu in, you know, you can fit lifting in. I mean, you can do it. And it's good. Like, Ramananda is a good example. He's an older guy, and you can do it, man. It's not like, oh, I have to only be full-time. It's nuts.
But Ramananda is full-time, though, I think.
He is full-time.
Yeah. Oh, he is? Well, then he's, oh, really?
At 30, yeah. Well, in that article it mentions he's full.
Which I think is like, I'd like to have Ram on to talk to him about.
I would too.
It's like,
I would too, because that's wow. How does he pull that off?
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because it's like, well, there's a lot of people who are just well off. Like I know there's some people who like won the purple belts. I won't name names actually. I'm not that person.
Names, man.
I can't. I'm not that person.
Yeah, but if you're being nice to you, it seems like you're gonna compliment them. I think that's okay.
No, not really. I just feel like a lot of people just like some people kind of just live off of what their parents have, and so they're rich enough to be able to afford to just do full-time jiu-jitsu, and then that's kind of it. But when you're like 36, like Ram is, you kind of wonder like, is he just rich, or is he just completely sacrificing everything at that age?
I'd like to know. I mean, dude, at 36, you can have a house paid off if you're smart. You know, if you got a house early, so like maybe, but you know what? We should reach out to him. Let's do that.
Maybe we will.
I'd like to do that. So, where was I going? So I had sorry if you guys had another question, but I did kind of have a format. But you know what? Until I bring that up because it's on another screen here, Vijay, we had another question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, there's a couple questions popping in.
How many people are watching this? I'm actually literally shocked.
No, there are. We have a good chunk of people here.
There's no. I mean, it's just all GTA, right? Obviously.
Yeah, well, anyway, so the
Where did that
question,
go? Oh my God.
yeah, man. So thoughts on the different clubs you've trained at over the time. Can you take us through some of the schools you've been through
Yeah.
and
So
your opinions on them?
okay, so I started off at Nova U now through combat arts. Scott Lewis, Daniel Santos, fabulous instructors. And to be honest with you, man, like that is a tough room. They got a lot of big guys, especially for guys my size. Like they have a lot like Tim Doon and your Chris P. They have Dave Beckles. I mean, they have a lot of big guys. I had a bit of a falling out just at a tournament. I mean, I just felt I should have been coached more than I was. Kind of my own thing. Like my thing is, if my coach is there, pay attention to the people that are fighting. They had a bit of a different mentality on the coaching, so it didn't work out. So then a lot of my friends had left that club through some different disagreements, and trained with this little guy in Burlington. I can't remember his name, but Purple Belt is running a school, kind of a Japanese jiu-jitsu / BJJ type of place. Like
You mean Dan Hales?
Yeah. I've never seen haven't seen him compete, so I just kind of forgot his name. But yes, that does ring a bell. Yeah, so a lot of 17-step guard passes. I mean, it didn't really suit my style, but I had a really close friend, Bronco, that was training there. And but then he ended up moving to Boston, and that was about the point where my wife said, "Look, you can't be training evenings and you're competing." So I couldn't train evenings, and I couldn't go lunches there. So it was just logistically hard to train in Burlington, when combat arts is like 10 minutes from my work. And then at that point, I'd actually just met Amir Yafawi through Sean Kent, part of our Purple Belt Dream Team, Ahmed, that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But so he said, "Hey, man, come to combat, Amir," and I just hit it off with Amir right away. I mean, Amir's not only my instructor, but I consider him family. Like, I mean, that's a shoot. That's no work at all. And one thing I'll say about Amir, I mean, I'm not sure if people know, like, he's not 100%. I'll put it that way. He's a bit ill. But for him, just when I see him find every reason to compete, and I've been with other people that find every excuse not to compete. I mean, I'll go through a wall for Amir. I mean, I've seen him when he's been sick and he still competes. I mean, he had quite a run of brown belt, and he competes all the time, and he shows a lot of courage. And that's the guy I want to train under, that type of environment I want to train under. And I just couldn't be happier. But I mean, nothing on the other two places. Like I said, Dan Hill, right?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, sir. He's very good technically. He just doesn't compete, and not to knock him in particular, but when you're that young and that good, because he is very good from what I see, it's just when you're not competing, you're just shortchanging yourself, right? And I would hate for him to be 30, 32 and say, "Oh man, I should have fought when I was 24," right? I mean, you have guys like me and Ahmed who are a bit older and like saying, "Hey man, you're in your prime, do it." And he's very good, right? Like he would do well internationally. I have no doubt about it. But I think he's just shortchanging himself. But that's something he's gonna have to live with, or if he can accept it, that's that's fine on him. But if I had that talent for sure at his age, man, I would not be squandering it, like not competing, because I think he's fabulous for sure.
Yeah, no, okay, no. It could just be simply because of the fact that he's running a school maybe, or who knows. So like I don't want to pick on him in particular, but maybe he's got some things on his plate. You think? I don't know.
When you see like he's got so much talent. Like, I mean, he rolled 5 minutes with me and didn't tap. I mean, when you can do that, you're Mundial level.
Oh shit, Jordan, did you just join again?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right, let me just let's keep you on.
Hey, there's two of them. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, let me just 1 second. Guys.
Happens sometimes.
My screen froze.
Okay,
I
cool.
had nothing
We're
there.
good now.
Sorry, yes.
Okay, so Vijay, one final question.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Did my camera go out?
No, it's good.
Oh, sorry. Okay. One final question.
You can't tell, but
going
my
forward,
side of the face
what are your
is-
plans going
is the
forward
wrong side of the-
in jiu-jitsu, in life?
That doesn't
Anything.
make any sense, but
Well, we're maxed out on the kids. I just had my third. I have 3 kids, so I'm done there. Run to flourishing practice. My partner's probably going to retire in 5-6 years. So at that point, actually, is probably when I'm going to stop competing because I'm going to have to run this empire myself and get some help. So that's kind of the other thing that's kind of makes me fight. Makes me fight as much as I do because I know my partner's going to retire in 5-6 years. So I need to get this all in because I know when I'm 45, 50, I just won't be able to do it. My kids will be older. I'm going to focus on their sports. So it's probably like a 5-year run I have left. So that's why I'm trying to fit it all in and just enjoy the experience. Like I said, I got a ton of stuff. I got New York, July 19th. August 2nd, Toronto IBJJF. Got Vegas the next week. Got Boston the 23rd of August. Got Atlanta August 30th. In between them, I think there's like 2 or 3 grappling industries. One Toronto, one Hamilton, one Montreal. I'll be doing those. So just looking forward to it, man. Trying to get my 1 or 2 trainings a week. Beat up some white belts, and hopefully that can get me through on the next level.
And finally, any super fights that you would like to do? I've spoken with you in the past, and you've said that you're willing to do some super fights for charity. which would be a
Yeah,
great,
so,
great cause.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys know what hard times are, Ahmed. I don't know if your viewers know what hard times.
You know, I think we lost
I don't
on
know.
that.
Yeah, so anyways, just like if we want to talk about hard times, man, hard times is when let's go back to provincials, right? November held in Brock. I was very fortunate enough to win my weight class and get third in the absolute. I lost to Nathan DeSantos, a great competitor. Pema and him closed out. Top of the world, right? Just turned 39, bunch of injuries, and able to like double medal at provincials, right? I get him a few days later, and I have a troll from Toronto BJJ saying that it wasn't provincials because this person wasn't there, that person wasn't there, this person wasn't there, and because it was held in, what was that city? Was it Niagara Falls? Can't remember. It was the Badger Classic, right, Brock?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So I have this guy saying that I'm not a provincial champion, right? I give my 2 medals to my kids. They're loving it. Then, a week later, they throw the medals back at me. Hey, Dad, this guy with a neck beard. On the playground, hey, you're not a provincial medalist. Why you lying to me, Daddy? That's hard times, man. And Josh Rapport, for you to troll me like that and say that I'm not a provincial champion is an insult, not only to me, to the other competitors out there. I mean, it doesn't matter where you hold provincials and who shows up, who doesn't show up. Everyone that showed up to fight, and who medaled is who medaled, right? So anytime, Josh Rapport, you want to maybe settle this and see what a provincial champion is and what isn't a provincial champion, I would love to have that super fight. $1,000 each for charity. Any promoter that's interested wants to throw in another $500 or $1,000, we can make this for charity. Have this on the undercard of a sub-X show or any of the charity. I would love to do it. And like I said, I respect what Josh has done with his at-risk youth. He's helped a lot, a lot of the members of Toronto BJJ. I respect he's done a lot for BJJ. I just feel it'd be also a great fight to show that two business owners, because he is a successful business owner as well, can, that jiu-jitsu is for everybody, right? It's not for the guy living in his mom's basement, bowling, 10 hours a day. It's for everybody, right? And I would love to have that fight. We're both similar size. In fact, Josh, I'm a bit older than you. I've got kids. I don't think you have kids. So I think it's a fair matchup, and I would love to do it. I think the people would love to do it. So if any of you out there would love to see the match, keep in mind a couple $1,000 for charity, and maybe settle the score and who's a provincial champ and who isn't, and who goes to Mundell's to watch and who would go to fight with Checha. We can settle. So if anyone wants to see, email David Aguzzi, Tony Isaacs, any promoter aside from the OGA, because I won't do their events. I'll be free to do it. So I know what you guys think, man. I think that'd be a great super fight. You got two guys.
So Vijay, can you answer that final thing I said? Josh doesn't have anything to gain and everything to lose. Being a black belt and you're a purple belt.
Well, again, we can do gi, no gi, and a eating contest after. Because not only will I beat him in both, I'll beat him on whoppers, grits, anything he wants to do. It's all for charity. And like I said, man, two business owners, successful, competing in a match. I think it's great for jiu-jitsu. Because like I say, it's not just about the young guys. It's about guys that also have kids, businesses. I think it's great for jiu-jitsu. And like I said, I hope he wants to fight. I hope he'll accept the fight. And I hope it's for charity. Any charity of his liking, actually. And like I said, I just want to get this done because I think I would like to have that feather in my cap to even face Josh Rapport because, again, he's a black belt and I'm highly respected.
Okay, well, there you have it. All right, guys. Now, I don't know where Jordan is, but we'll maybe he'll come back, maybe not. But we are going to wrap up. Vijay, we took the hour. Once again, from Just Geek Up, we want to thank you for coming on and for kind of putting yourself out there. You may have offended some people.
That's never the intention. I hope.
Yeah, no. So, just so everyone who's offended, don't worry about it. Okay, it's not a big deal. You can offend us if you want, because I don't care. And so anyway, so what I'm saying is, I'm trying to say don't worry about it. I don't know, Rami, can you say me? I don't know,
Yeah, if you worry about it, you're probably a little bitch anyway, and shouldn't watch the podcast.
that's I mean, seriously, if you got offended, it's probably because you're making some wrong life choices. And I don't know, we're all successful here, and maybe not in jiu-jitsu as much as some other people, but I mean, who cares? But anyway, so Vijay, so thank you again, man, once again. And Vijay, if you have anything you wanna add, any closing comments. I was gonna say sponsors, but you sponsor yourself, so that's all good.
Just like I say. I just want to thank you for having me on. I'm a big fan of the show, and it's an honor, Ahmed, to be part of the new Purple Belt Dream Team. We have a Combat Arts, myself, you, Mike Briers, soon to be Sean Kent, Alan. I guess I can't remember his last name, but the young Bolo Master. He'll be getting his purple soon. So the fact that you're part of the Combat family now. Like I say, man, Toronto, August 2nd, we're all going to be there, and I want to see all purple belts come out there because it's going to be going down.
Yeah,
Nathan,
guys.
the rest of the Toronto BJJ knuckleheads have to be taken out, and it's going to be a challenge, man. And like I said, I'm just so glad you're part of the team. And I also want to just, I'm just glad I was on just for your viewers, man, just to see someone that works, someone that's successful in, jiu-jitsu, and, just try to be a positive role model to some of your, viewers that maybe don't have a job or any aspirations or besides just tugging on men's gi pants all day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's great. So everyone, Toronto IBJJF, August 2nd. If you want to join, face one of us, sign up. I'm putting myself out there. I don't care. So that's So anyway, yeah, it's August 2nd. And Vijay, the next tournament coming up, I believe, is June 14th. I'm gonna do a little cheap plug here. Is it June 14th? Yeah, it's a week from today.
David, yes, Hamilton. Big debut in Hamilton, yes.
Yeah, Grappling Industries. I think you have a couple days to sign up, 3 days, I believe.
Right.
Sign up for that. It's the first one in Hamilton. So yeah, do that. Enjoy that. It'll be a good one for 4. I'll be there, not competing. I'm still gonna. Since I won a match, I'm gonna ride that for a couple months and then compete. So I will be. I'll ref that one though. So if you want to stop by, say hi. Or if you want to yell at me, whatever, just stop by. And
all white belts, man. All white belts competed this tournament, man. You'll get 10 matches. It's a great experience.
And you might face Vijay. You might face Vijay.
There you go. And I just want to plug one last thing. Combat Arts, every Sunday there's an open mat from 12 to 2. So if anyone has an issue with what any of us said, we'll be there tomorrow. And I do have a sponsorship opportunity. If you can tap me twice in 5 minutes or 6 minutes, or however long the roll is, I will sponsor you. And if you can't tap me and you think you're a full-timer, I'll help you with your resume. You win.
There you have it, guys. We're going to leave with that, and I'm sure we've made some people upset, but we love you all. Thank you for listening.